No, I'm not gonna use that. It's fucking Thanos booty dancing. I'm not gonna use that. Hold on. I hadn't even seen the whole GIF before. Here, I'm just gonna use dog.gif.
All right. Hello. Uh, I'll just start as we usually do. Brennan here. Welcome, season 5. I guess this is episode 2 because I don't think you guys did an episode while I was in Vegas, so we didn't do an episode between then.
No,
Bowl.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, if you weren't on it, then it probably didn't happen.
No,
So...
no, I just have what's called the bad brain.
Oh, the Bad Brain. It's a good band.
Yeah.
Anyways, Brennan here, and I'm joined this evening by Cali.
And that's it.
Cali.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Seems that everybody else has run for the hills. So, we're gonna adult cast this up.
Yeah. I feel like I got some games I can talk about. I've been playing a few things. I don't know. Why don't you go
What have
first?
you been playing?
Oh,
you want me to go first?
yeah, you go first.
Okay. Well, for me, I played Losing Money in Vegas 2 weeks ago.
Sweet.
A week ago.
How
That
much?
was, an amount.
That-
It was all right. No, I actually learned how to play craps for the first time, so I lost some money doing that. But it was fun. I had a fun time. I had a great time in Vegas. It's always a trip, and being with the whole family, I got to hang out with my friend from San Diego who plays Magic, so we played Magic a bunch because I brought some decks, although I had both of the TSA to and from looking at my stuff even in the middle of the shutdown, so that was fun. They're like, what is this thing? And the TSA guy had the audacity to make a joke about the deck that I had because he's like, there's nothing dangerous in here than dangerous cards, right? And I'm like, I was going to make that joke, but I don't want to get arrested.
yeah,
So
no,
I guess if the
they're
TSA
allowed.
guy makes the joke, I guess that's okay.
They're allowed to use the D word.
Fair. Other than that, I don't know what propelled me to do so, but I actually just played through the entirety of Golf Story again.
That's a long game to be. I mean, if you have plane rides.
It wasn't that long. I mean, I played it. I played about, I want to say about 6 hours or so in Vegas, and then I kind of finished it off here at home over the last week or so. I finished it yesterday evening, actually.
Because I was gonna say I played that game off and on for a good while, and I never finished it.
Oh, well, I finished it twice now.
I think I only
Great
played
game.
like an hour at a time though, so I don't know.
It's a great game. I hope that oh god, why am I blanking on the developer's name?
I don't know. I'm
I have the
googling.
box right here. I have the game, the actual
You got-
limited run release of the game right here. Sidebar Games,
Okay.
because limited run did a physical release of it on Switch cartridge. It's actually available at Best Buy. You can actually buy it there. Although I have the variant that came on limited run's website officially. That's not what I played it in though, because I haven't opened the seal on that. But anyways, but yeah, no, I beat it, and yeah, no, it's a fun game. I hope that Sidebar Games' next game will be as fun as Golf Story was. I know it brought them enough, hopefully brought them enough resources to be able to make whatever they want to make next. There are hints in the game where they want to like hint at other things, but I don't think they're actually gonna make a sports game now.
A sequel hook, or just something else.
No, like hooks to like tennis,
Oh, okay.
which is always like a classic, like, you know, the classic like sports games on consoles was like golf and tennis, right? So it would make sense for them to make like a tennis story.
Yeah, they put
the same
golf
graphics
in
and
there.
all that sort of stuff. Yeah, put tent. I don't want to say. I was gonna say penis, but penis in there. I don't know what you would do with it.
Pain.
I did try to get-
Penis.
I did try to get Golf because they actually made. There was a person who actually did make a copy of Golf for the NES.
Oh.
Limited Run actually sold it at that time when they were selling Golf Story, and unfortunately, I missed out both times that they put it up, which made me really sad.
Yeah, no, Golf Story is really good. It's a really good one of those. Like it does the typical 3-mark golf swing thing from Hot Shots and Everybody's Golf.
Yes.
Which is the only golf game I will play.
That's fair.
But yeah, I put a lot of time into it. There's just, maybe it was the way I played it, but it felt like there was just so much of that game.
Maybe I just kind of got sucked into it so hard that I didn't realize how much time I was actually spending on it, which is a possibility.
You got
But
addicted to that instead of gambling.
yeah, I think. Well, no, I mean I still lost a bunch of money, but anyways, what else? I picked up War Groove last week. I've been playing a little bit of that on the Switch as well.
That's been getting a lot of groundswell.
Yeah, I think it deserves it. It's very well put together for a Advanced Wars slash Fire Emblem
great game.
Yeah, basicer strategy game, I guess, is sort of the thought process, and it's good. It's good. I like it.
It looks really good. I like the way it looks. It's just
Yes.
you see a game and you're like, oh, it's one of those. I'm good.
Yeah, that's fair. If you're not into that sort of like kind of game, it would make perfect sense to kind of avoid it because it's definitely one of those. It's one of those sorts of games. So
Like I understand the nostalgia for Advance Wars and that sort of thing. Like I will always love Shining Force, but I think I got over that. I don't know.
No, that's fair. And then one more thing that I've been playing, the group of people that I play games with occasionally, in the PC realm, picked up Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, the Criterion make of it on PC, and we've been playing that online a bunch, which has been good. It's good to have a group of people to play out with, like 6 or 7 people. It's fun.
Yeah.
Anyways,
is that the one where you can play as cops also? And
yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's what we've been doing. We've been playing like 3v3 cops versus racers. It's been fun. Definitely fun. What about you? What have you been playing?
Well, speaking of playing things with a group, Dispenser gave me a code for Division 2 beta.
Oh, nice. I wish I had a code for
that. Like half the people in VGZ were playing it. Somebody might have it. Again, going back to it's one of those. Like I really, it really falls into that fun with friends category for me, because I've never been a AAA shooter guy. Especially cover shooters. This is like absolutely no. You need to get under that goddamn cover, otherwise you're gonna die within 10 seconds.
Yep.
It's a loot game. You know, it's got rarities. It's got all that shit.
Yep. Yeah. Remember playing the shit out of Division 1. Tons and tons and tons of time put in the Division 1 with Ein and such. So.
Yeah, I'm good as far as that. I don't know. It was fine once I got past my initial, oh god, I haven't played one of these in years. It's fine. I don't know. I don't have any complaints. It's just like I feel like a hipster, you know, for like being like, oh, this is such a AAA game, you know, but it is. And I just like it's a thing I've seen a million times, and it being set in a place I've been doesn't like take away or, you know, add to it. I don't know. It's a shooter, and you are in a place with reasons to shoot people. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, I don't know. If you're into that sort of thing, then you're gonna like it, and if you're not into that sort of thing, you're not gonna like it. I think it's one of those.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. That's the best I can. That's the best I can do.
Oh, that's fair.
Also, I've been putting way more time into Guacamelee 2.
Nice.
I'm at the Crucible, which is literally like after you do all the super hard challenges, here's the fucking ultra hard challenge. And I'm still stuck in the first room because it fucking sucks. It's like some straight up Meat Boy shit of Here's this room full of spikes. Here's an air current that you have to ride, and you have to feather the jump exactly so, and just fucking get good. And I need to get good.
Mhm.
I love Guacamelee, but God, this game more than the other one is just like, no, you need to get good. You will do this. You need to do this. I've done all of it so far. It's just, man, it's rough.
Mhm.
Like, Deadpool was saying that to me when I was streaming it last night. Just like, he's like that with platformers, where he's just like, yeah, this is one of those. I don't like them, but it's definitely one of those, and I can appreciate it, but it's a platformer.
Mhm. Is
And
that a wild chibi?
Yes, hello.
Hello, DrChibi.
hi.
Hi. Sorry, I was working on a Sunday, but I'm here now. It's all good.
Cool.
Everything's okay.
Cali, why don't you finish your thought? I'm
The
sorry.
the fires were put out. Chibi, you put out the fires.
Yeah, everything's nice and calm. I handed it off to Europe, so let them deal with it.
He didn't start the fire.
Yeah.
It was always burning. All right. Yeah. I don't know. That's besides Pokemon Go. That's all I've been doing. Oh, you know what?
Okay.
I re-downloaded Mortal Kombat Mobile.
Oh.
Because they're starting to put Mortal Kombat 11 characters in there. And
Interesting.
it's fine. Like, if you've played any mobile fighting game, it controls like all of them. Like, the Power Rangers one controls exactly like that. The DBZ one's kind of like that.
Isn't it using the engine from the Injustice slash WWF one?
More WWE Mortals, yeah. But
Okay.
I played the Injustice one for a minute, and it has a behind the back perspective. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
The second one does not. The second one is the WWE Immortals engine, like the one that they've been using for most things.
The Injustice 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to play that.
Okay. Yeah, no, I downloaded Injustice, and I was like, oh, this is terrible. I don't like this. Like 2/3 perspective behind the back fighting game is not. It doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know. They added a lot more stuff to more. I used to play Mortal Kombat Mobile a lot, like a lot, for some fucking reason. I was way into it when Mortal Kombat X came out, just because.
It's novel, and there is some like moves. You're actually doing a few things, but
Yeah, they
after
have
a
like
while, you just
X-rays in
realize-
there. They have they put a lot of shit in there that's not even in MKX, like weird classic costumes and fucking Goro's in there. It's a weird thing. I like it, I guess. I don't know. It's been a good way to fill time when I'm home waiting for video to render.
Makes sense.
I think I'm done.
Okay. Chibi, since you have joined us at the correct time, anything interesting that you've been playing?
Well, I know you guys were like, hey, you know what's coming out? And I was like, no, what? And I didn't know because console releases, but I've been playing the hell out of Ace Combat 7. And it's been really good. Renders at high resolution, it's really fast, and I'm enjoying it. And, okay, for anyone who doesn't know, Ace Combat's a series that takes place in an alternate reality called the Strange Real. And there's all these kingdoms and all these like super weapons, and it's all rooted in this like calamity called the Ulysses asteroid that was hurtling towards Earth, and everyone built these giant cannons and railguns and missiles and all kinds of stuff to like try and defend itself, basically keep it from just killing the planet.
Yeah, I didn't know that part.
Oh yeah. And they succeeded, and they broke up the asteroid, but like chunks fell, and like land masses got fucked up, and the people there were like, "Fuck this! Why'd we get hit? Why'd they not get hit?" screw them, and then people got angry at each other, and then people had all these like giant super weapons. Like, hey, what happens if we turn them at other people? Then we can get all the shit we want, and just escalation from there. But the thing is, in one way, this series is kind of like Fast and the Furious, in that the third game is sort of a time skip. Ace Combat 3 Electrosphere is the Tokyo Drift of the Ace Combat series. It takes place in the future.
I don't think. What?
It is. Yes, it is though.
Okay. No, that's fine. I just. Sorry.
Jason Statham shows up and kills Han in Ace Combat.
Yeah,
and
they let him into the family, and it's all good. No, so basically, it's a future where governments have given way to corporations. Shocking, but it was kind of weird in that it had all these like anime cutscenes, and it kind of looked and felt like Macross Plus, and it had a branching story with all kinds of endings and different things. But when it came out here, they thought it was a little complicated, so they just like cut it down to a linear thing. But basically, what takes place is there's kind of like a Skynet system coming online, this like completely autonomous like defense system, and there's something that's essentially the Ghost Fighter for Macross Plus. It's run by an AI, and it's like the super kick-ass pilot with vector thrust and stuff. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the game, you have to beat it. And there's like sort of like a spoiler twist at the end that's kind of like really funky, but it's the root of the Ace Combat series. And that was part 3, 2 games. Then the third one happened, and it jumps back in time. And everything from 4 to 7 is kind of been prologue to that. And the more like story stuff that happens, the more it kind of like you see the groundwork for Ace Combat 3 being built. And I don't want to get too much into it, but it's just been really freaking cool to watch. And I know Gradient's marked out because they brought back something from Ace Combat 4 and like Mission 12. It was like, holy shit! I was like, I know, right? But
it's that guy.
It's that thing, yeah. But right now the multiplayer is only deathmatch and team deathmatch, but there's apparently like 6 DLC packs coming, and since I got like the full edition, I have the pass. And I'm super hoping that they're going to come out with co-op missions, because on the Xbox 360 version, Ace Combat 6, they had these like co-op operations that were like these big battlefield with all kinds of objectives and stuff, and they're like different squadrons doing patrols and stuff, and you had to finish the task, but you could like break up into groups and attack different objectives at the same time. And basically, well, we need to get here, but the air defense network's still up, so someone has to hit the power plant. So as soon as that goes down, like the guy in the AC in the A10 needs to like go over and start bombing this stuff. And it was cool, but they gave us like 1 or 2 with the base game, and they cut the game up into like DLC. So every other like mission or like really cool like sortie thing was a different chunk of something. I hope they don't do that this time, but they give us the same kind of content. That would be really neat. Sorry, I got a little excited. Also, I'm currently, as in this very second, playing Surviving Mars. It's a cool little base building simulator, sort of an not an RTS since there's no combat, but you're basically a mission to Mars. You have to you drop down with a rocket, some drones, and you start building your base, getting it ready for human habitation. You bring people there, keep them from like killing themselves and each other while you're like completing your goals and doing research. It's a fun little time waster. Still doing Metal Gear Survive on the sides. I know I shouldn't be playing that, but Yakuza 0 continues to be really good. I'm at the part just before it goes back from Majima to Kiryu. When like everything actually starts going. So I have no hostess clubs. I have no real estate. It's all just been doing side stories and enjoying the world. But I really like Kamurocho. They already put up the pre-orders for Kiwami, and that was like at $15 with like discounts and stuff. So hell yeah, I got that. So once I actually finish this, I'm already gonna have that wave me with this, which is just nuts. Because like again, the decade or year or whatever you want to call it, PC of like just these like little gems from consoles finally coming over is it's just amazing. What else? Hit a new record in Honeycam Studio. That was great. For the longest time, I like played it like the whole point was getting money, and then I stopped and realized, wait, no, I need viewers. The money is just how I get the viewers, how I optimize for the viewers. So
Can I ask you a question?
I'm not sure.
I never played Honeycam because it's one of those. It's a freaking management sim, which I don't like.
I love those.
I don't. Like, what's the reward? What's the reward? Are there any good lewds? Are there any? Is there? What?
No. For the most part, it's about the management of it. It's knowing when to upgrade your stuff, when to buy ads, when to coke up your people, that sort of thing.
Progress is its own reward, is what you're saying.
Partially, but also when you hit milestones, like at the end of the you get 21 days in which to play the game. You can after that you can keep going if you want, but at the 21-day mark, you get an evaluation, and what that little fairy goes, all right, you did this well, and depending on how well you did, you get coins, wardrobe coins. And that's your reward. You get to go back into the wardrobe and you buy new hairstyles, new clothes, and whatever.
Upgrade your girls.
Dress them up, but it doesn't. It's all cosmetic, and the point of the game really is just managing your cam empire. Yeah. If you buy everything for a girl, you get this like single frame like lewd, semi-lewd, and that's about it. It really is just the game and just the absurdity of what you're doing.
Yeah, It's one of those. I'm waiting for Honey Pop 2. It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. With more MILFs this time.
Yes.
Resident Evil 2 came out. Speaking of like excellent console games coming to PC, that shit's amazing. It's
I need to pick
it
up.
It is an old ass game.
I'm gonna pick it up.
I saw
it is not HD. Yeah, you probably saw the Giant Bomb stuff, right?
I've been watching Pat play a ton of it, and I watched Wooly play it with Pat yelling at him yesterday, and I've been watching a lot. I've been watching a lot of that game because I know it's something I'm gonna hate playing. So I'm watching other people play it.
It's great because it straight up feels both a modern game and an old ass like PlayStation game, like an old ass like Resident Evil game.
Yeah, it still has those survival horror sensibilities of just like
it does, but it's cut out a lot of the bullshit from Resident Evil 1. Like a lot of the super limited inventory, the backtracking, the not knowing what's where. Like this thing, one of the great advancements, like it has lots of little like quality of life stuff, but the map is really great. It keeps track of a lot of information for you. It'll tell you like the different areas on the map will change color depending on the state. Like if you've done everything there, it turns blue and just says, "All right, you're done here. Don't worry about it."
Yeah, it tells you like
if your camera passes.
Oh, it tells you like the door you're looking at, like what key you need for it. You know, a lot of really good shit.
A symbol, it'll give you some info, and like, thing is, if your camera passes over something, like you pass near an item, it marks it on the map. You left something there, so there's no like guesswork. Like, I don't know like where I left that thing, or there was like some gunpowder, but where the hell was it?
There is a lot of really neat stuff with that game, and it's also just straight up like it's still a fucking survival horror game.
Yeah, that game is a motherfucker. It just like throws out a lot of the old rules. It changes things. Like zombies will come through doors after your ass. There's no like traversal animations. You just go from place to place. It's good. I should play more of that, but Ace Combat kind of like destroyed my weekend.
I understand.
Also, the Division 2 beta. I've been playing that with several people here. Ein, Albs, Deadpool, some other people I know. Like, there's like 7 of us. Zin's on it too. I really like the Division. I like 1. Out of that wave of like loot shooter games, like Anthem and Destiny and whatever else, like that one's my favorite. And it had really good combat, really good movement. It like everything's fast and responsive, but it has like weight to it. And the shooting looks really good. The weapons are like really differentiated. The sounds are nice. There's all kinds of like little physics interactions, and everything's just has a lot of polish to it. Well, unlike Destiny, they've made a second one, and they didn't totally throw everything they learned out the window in the first one. Because like this thing released like Destiny, there was the end game wasn't there. There was all the extra content after you hit 30 wasn't there. There wasn't like any reason to keep going really. And over the course of its like lifetime, they released a lot of content. They released like new things to do, new currencies, more story bits, more lore, and just stuff like repeatable stuff you can like take a group into and just have fun with after a while. And this one is that, but it's launching with a lot of the improvements out of the gate. And I know like some people here probably heard that like one of the biggest problems of that, and mostly Destiny, was that enemies are spongy. They really tweaked the weapons. Yeah, they really tweaked the weapons and everything in the first one to make it, because there was no point in like taking an SMG or anything, because that's like everyone just carried like heavy crit assault rifles because hitting in the head bypassed armor, because everything just took so long to die. You had to like reload multiple times. You had to like just be able to resupply. But over the course of that game, they fixed it. Like at most, like really beefy enemies took like a full like magazine or belt or something, unless it was a boss. But they really tweaked everything to be better. Now in the second one, like huge improvement. They gave players as well as enemies the same armor system that everyone had, that the bosses had in the first one. So things can bypass your armor. You can bypass their armor. There's things that can like crack the armor faster, but everything dies a lot faster. It's about managing your armor and getting out of the way, and like, you know, pulling your plate out, putting it back in, like rebuilding your armor, getting something to repair it, and like things have become a little more lethal, but it's really good. Sorry, I seem to have monopolized everything for the past 15 minutes.
No, you're good. You're good. You reiterated a lot what Cali was saying with regards to Division 2. I definitely would like to pick it up after it releases.
I straight up pre-ordered the big boy version without the statues though. So
well, what's the point then?
I know. Don't worry, I'm sure I'll pick one of those up like for an eighth of the price, like 4 months after it comes out.
Yeah, probably. No, but I should probably. I'm definitely gonna. It'll be probably pre-ordered the day before it comes out for me, because it comes out in a few weeks. So it's like March, right? Beginning of March. It's like March.
Yeah, it's like March 15th or something.
Yeah,
around
like
there.
So, I'll pick it up at that point. March.
Besides that, Warframe, Monster Hunter, lots of events. Geralt just dropped on console. I think the giant Jagras is going to show up on PC soon. Behemoth's still a motherfucker. I can't beat him. And yeah, everything's going great. A lot of games.
Speaking of games.
Thank
you for giving me a segue. Let's talk about what's coming out this week. This week is we'll call this one a mildly full week. At least for February, it's a pretty full week. Although February seems to be a pretty big release month nowadays, at least these years. So this week, the big releases, we have Metro Exodus, which is unfortunate, and we'll talk about that later.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That was on my day one purchase list. It is no longer on my day one purchase list. But other games, Crackdown 3, finally, after much ballyhoo.
It's happening.
It's happening.
But do we want it to happen?
This Tuesday.
Do y'all like Terry Crews?
Excuse me, not this Tuesday.
I totally forgot it was this Tuesday. All right,
no, not Tuesday. Thursday, Friday. Sorry. But yeah, Terry Crews is great. And actually, this one's on Xbox Game Pass, so I will be playing it on Xbox Game Pass. It's a day one Xbox Game Pass release. So
sweet.
Yeah, so that's pretty sweet. Also coming out this week, the Far Cry DLC that is a DLC, but not really. Far Cry New Dawn.
So is it? Are they releasing it like Blood Dragon, where it's just a $30 thing?
It's a standalone.
I
think it's a full priced standalone.
Like Primal, right?
Yeah. I believe so. It's a bold strategy.
Primal. They're using the exact same map and everything as the earlier one. They're just retexturing
Yeah.
stuff to be post-apocalyptic.
Yeah. No, it's a $40 game, so it is
Okay, not too.
it is a little bit cheaper than a traditional full-on game. Yeah, I think it's as somebody who played through Far Cry 5, which I thought was a fine game. I'm not. We talked about it before. But this being Hope County again, and it's after one of the endings of the game happens. I'm curious what they're going to do with the story in that regard. Traditionally, Far Cry does not have
Strong writing.
strong rating or linking. Well, I won't say strong rating because 4 actually had a pretty compelling story in it.
It did, but
It did.
It did.
well, at the
But-
very least, it
5 didn't. 5 did not.
it had something. I'll say that.
I think 3, 4, 2, 3, and 4. I think most people tend to agree were like actually fairly well written. But anyways, so that's coming out. Also coming out is Jump Force, which
I played that at PAX South. It
What did you
was
think?
it controls like every Naruto game. There's been so many of
shit. Okay.
Believe it.
it's fine, I guess. Like it wasn't the worst. I don't know. It's one it's one of those. I've played so many of those 3D arena anime fighters that at this
Right.
point it's just like, yeah, no,
They're
this
all
is
meshing together.
but
This is that.
everything looks weird because they're all like pseudo realistic. But here's like the dude from Hunter x Hunter. Here's, Goku. I have conflicting feelings about that game. It's
That's fair.
fine.
I have no personal interest as I'm not really big on that, and the controls always looked really floaty to me.
Yeah, no, they are. They always are though.
Yeah. Let's see. Also coming out, Trials Rising, which is the continuation of the Trials series, which means, Ubisoft is probably gonna have another fun presser this year with something stupid happening with Trials. They seem to do that every year.
I'm fine with that.
Oh yeah, no, nothing wrong with that
Do you-
whatsoever.
Brennan, do you remember the ARG they did for the last Trials game?
No.
So there's currently a thing buried under the Eiffel Tower
Okay.
that like isn't supposed to be opened until like 2102 or something. I forgot it. Well, after we're dead,
Sure.
and I'm like,
And-
that's dumb. All right, whatever.
Nobody's gonna remember that.
That's right.
Nobody's gonna remember that's there. Also coming out this week is the expansion pack for Civilization 6 Gathering Storm, which I'm actually I forgot was coming out this week. I am mildly
I'm
interested.
still playing 5.
Civ 6 is great. Civ 6 is a great game. But yeah, other than that, a bunch of shitware coming out. I guess Ali Ali Switch stances and shitware, but
You know what? Fucking like I randomly saw the trailer for that, and I was like, whoa! I didn't know Ollie Ollie had an amazing soundtrack.
oh, Ali Ali's great. I suck at Ali Ali, but I can definitely appreciate it.
That soundtrack is dope as shit. I looked it up after seeing that trailer, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? All this music is good.
Oh, and one more thing, which is coming out this week, but I think is along the same lines as a conversation we've had previously, where fucking all this bullshit with people doing or companies doing the whole, if you buy the game at this point, you get it released this week, and then this week gets it this week. Anthem has its Origin Access trial start on February 15th, which means that they get to play, if you have Origin Access, you get to play the game a full week before it actually is released.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a thing.
If you are a higher class of human, you get
Yeah.
to play it ahead of time.
And just a quick peek in the next week, Yakuza Kiwami comes out for the PC February 19th. So,
Oh, can I point out one thing in the middle of all this, the shovelware?
Oh, sure.
Here? Uh,
Yeah.
I've been looking at the Texturcist. It is a typing-based shmup.
Oh, nice. It's so Typing of the Dead.
No, no, it's a shmup. Like,
Oh,
yes. So I'm very curious about that.
that is pretty curious.
I have seen gameplay and I'm like, I still don't understand how you really do this, but I'm gonna check that out.
Oh my god, actually, so there is one thing that I did see while I was looking through, because I did look through the crapper myself real quick. One thing that is coming out for this week, on Steam, is a game called Resort Boss Golf, which is very reminiscent of for me to Sim Golf, which is like I love Sim Golf. Except it's like it's got like it looks like it's voxelized and shit, but it's like Build Golf Resort and it's like Golf Resort Tycoon basically. But it looks very much like Sim Golf.
Yeah, it has straight up in its Steam listing Resort Boss Golf / Tycoon Management Game.
Nice. But yeah, so just saw that.
Like
That's
a fucking
cool.
mobile game listing. Jesus Christ.
Whatever. It's like it looks like it's gonna be like $10 or something, so
That's fine.
that's fine. For a game, as I said, I want to dig up my copy of Sim Golf now and see if I can get it working on modern PC, because Sim Golf is like one of my favorite. It was such a great sim game, so underrated. All right, let's move on. That's the releases. Let's talk about shit that happened this week. Not a large amount of stuff, but there was some bigger things that happened, so we can talk about in that respect. Something that's happening in a couple of days, reportedly. This is reportedly. People familiar with the matter. Activision Blizzard, after showing that they made a bunch of money last quarter, they still turned a profit, but now are letting go hundreds, quote unquote, of staff. This is after, even though down year on year, was up on expected revenues. So, company did fine, but they need to cut staff.
They did fine, but not fine enough for
I
a
guess.
multi-billion-dollar corporation.
I guess that's how it goes. Destiny or Bungie is on the way out soon, or is on the way out, or I don't know how long that's actually. I guess they already gone. They already have departed.
So what was it? 10 cents waiting arms or somebody or NetEase?
No, they're on their own for now, quote unquote.
Yeah, they haven't said anything about all that, but
all by themselves. You can sing that song yourself.
nah.
Okay, but yeah, so kind of shit. Although they do say that it's mostly probably going to affect sales and marketing positions, and not people making games.
So not real people.
Well, I'm not going to say not real people, right? Like, that's not fair.
But the people making the real money, because like compared to devs and testers and people, the line people, those marketing people make bank.
Yeah, no,
that's
I
where all the money goes.
Dev work you do make money doing dev work, not as much tester work, but I mean, obviously not as much as maybe some of those marketing people do. But the thing is, like, when you work at marketing, you get laid off at a company, you can probably find another job pretty easily. Like, it's not like being a dev where you have to like actually work your ass off to get that position. So, obviously it's just kind of dumb, but also at the same time, if no devs, I won't cry. If no devs get cut, I won't be crying too many tears personally. But it's just funny to see a company that turned a major amount of operating revenue decide that, in honesty, we probably need to cut some people or something. I don't know. CEO gets money, whatever. All right, let's move on. This week, the big release from this past week came out of nowhere. Apex
Legends.
Apex Legends. Sorry.
Yes.
Apex Predators were
it's a bad name.
Were the Merc.
Apex
Predators.
Randy Orton.
No, but Apex Predators were a Merc outfit in Titanfall 2.
Oh, so it all comes together. No, Apex Predators. I was making a Randy Orton joke.
Yeah.
Randy Orton was not in Titanfall 2, as far as I know.
He might. You know what? The voices tell him all sorts of things.
They understand. They talk to him. Anyways, so Respawn Entertainment. Basically, the story goes: they were making Titanfall 3. They decided they wanted to make making Titanfall. So the story they are saying is they were making Titanfall 3, but then they decided they wanted to make a battle royale, and it was always going to be a battle royale. But really, they weren't making Titanfall 3. Like, that's literally stories that I've read where it's gone full around a circle of, we were making Titanfall 3, no, actually we're making Battle Royale, no, we weren't actually making Titanfall 3. So, anyways, that happened.
I can completely understand, like, from a business standpoint, like, look, Titanfall 2 didn't do that well, even if it was great, which it was.
By no fault of their own.
Yes.
I mean, it came out the same week as fucking... What did
Titanfall
2 came out?
It was sandwiched between a Call of Duty and a Battlefield.
Yeah.
It got sent out to die in a bad place as counter-programming.
As EA normally does.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not wrong.
But also, I can completely understand, like, seeing where the market is anyway and just being like, we should probably do one of these. And they got fucking Ninja to play it. I went on Twitch earlier and it was the top game. So, like,
I mean, it's the top game right now on Twitch.
Yeah, no, it's what they did, what will work for them. It's like, yeah. It seems like a fine game.
Yeah, I mean, it sure is a battle royale. It's another contender in the battle royale of battle royales.
But this one's this is why I've only played PUBG during free weekends because it's $30 goddamn dollars. And
sure.
Like, Fortnite is as popular as it is because it's free. And
sure.
Being a free-to-play battle royale is definitely working. It is the thing you should do.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And maybe they'll get the money from this to make Titanfall 3 one day.
Sure. No, you see, that's the thing, though, is you say that, but, like, why make Titanfall 3 when you just make Apex Legends 2?
Why
is Epic ever gonna make another game? Why would they ever do that?
I beat Titanfall 3. Okay.
Sure.
That story ended on a fine note.
Titanfall 3 doesn't exist.
Or Titanfall 2. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I beat that story mode. I barely played the multiplayer. It was a good game, and
sure.
Multiplayer was really good.
I won't I don't understand the thirst of it for another one beyond now we know they're not making it, so fuck it. You know, I like people talking about Scalebound, you know, to me Scalebound never looked that good. It never looked that great. But people like to talk shit about it because it got canceled. I don't know.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that these companies right now, they're chasing whatever the trend is. So there is no future. It's right now. We're building a battle royale game to put in the market. Get on the battle royale train. It's what's happening though, left and right. Why would Epic ever release another game? They can ride Fortnite into the fucking sun. Why would
it kind of be more of the hobby project thing where, hey, we have all this money, you guys want to do something? But the impetus isn't there as we need the money, so we have to make this other thing to get it.
Valve.
Yeah, that's the Valve thing. Yeah.
No, but Valve hasn't really made anything. That's the thing. Valve has been sitting on this bucket of money, and they literally have done nothing in the last 2 years.
Why haven't you played Artifact?
They made Artifact. Haha.
Why haven't you played Artifact? I bought Artifact.
Oh, you did?
So I bought it. I have not launched it.
Sweet.
I bought it because I'm like, man, I'm gonna go play this, and then I played Arena for an hour or two and completely forgot that it existed, and so I have this copy of Artifact sitting in my inventory that I have yet to turn
Gathering digital dust.
Gathering digital dust, and to be fair, Artifact has completely dive bombed.
Yeah.
You cannot find it on Twitch's page at the moment. In fact, if you keep scrolling, you're not going to find it. Apex Legends, for reference, has 320,000 viewers right now.
That's right.
Artifact has 75.
That Summit dude has been playing it. He seems really popular. I don't know who he is, but Summit 1G.
Summit 1G, he's an old Twitch streamer. He's been around forever.
Okay.
Previously Counter-Strike Pro. Counter-Strike 1. Anyways, so I mean, power to them for producing something that people are excited to play. It's just that this is the continuation of we're making all of these we're making all these battle royale games, and the battle royale game is going to happen at some point.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the cycle's so fast that, like, just talking to people, like hearing stories out of GDC and stuff, that we already had the year where, like, people going for pitches like, hey, who's got a battle royale idea? And then next year was like, don't bring us any battle royales because we already got plenty of those. That thing's over. Now everyone's come back around to, hey, where's your battle royale?
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what happens at E3 this year. I'm curious to see where we are in October of this year with regards to these games.
I'm gonna make a prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Pain.
Just
Go
Dance clones.
I'm
calling it.
Okay.
All
right.
They just put
you
out.
Have your cold shot.
They just put out. Okay, I found this out at PAX South when I was fucking setting up for the next day's tournaments. They put Just Dance 2019 on the Wii. The Wii.
Yeah, I know.
The
Wii.
That blew my mind.
It was the last release for the Wii. It will be the last release.
That's crazy.
All right, let's move on. We have a couple more stories to talk about. Xbox Live. Usually on Xbox, right? Like, that's where we usually find it. Well, not anymore.
It's on my phone because I've been playing Windows Solitaire.
Due at GDC 2019, Xbox Live is going to have an SDK that will let people connect players between iOS, Android, and Switch. Mm-hmm. In addition to Xbox at any game on the Microsoft Store on Windows PCs.
The main, I mean, people are looking forward to games, but the main thrust of it is to get the friends list, the hooks, and everything onto new platforms first.
Yeah. And
once they can carry that over, then stuff starts posting into this ecosystem on those different systems, which will be great when it comes out.
Yeah. No, and I definitely think that I'm definitely not surprised. As it's the hooks. We talked about the hooks.
Yep.
We talked about this in a previous podcast, probably middle of last year. Actually, we were talking about this during the course of the whole Fortnite let them play shit that will happen. So, really not surprised that you're going to see this happening. The Eurogamer article I'm reading is like, it's a hugely ambitious play from Microsoft. It's like, no, that's not really ambitious.
It's the next part of their BFF relationship. Microsoft and Nintendo.
Ambitious is not a thing. It's also they're pointing out, like, iOS and Android as well, which I think is a good idea.
The groundwork has been laid for a lot of this because Minecraft is on everything. And there's more cross-play games on stuff.
Yeah.
And that just means they can put out the Game Pass on more things.
Yeah, pretty much. And they probably will.
Crackdown on the Switch. Let's go.
Moving on to more crazier things. Well, not crazier, but this is what I was referring to earlier when we were talking about releases this week. As I said, Metro Exodus comes out this week. I was very excited when I saw the release trailer back in, was it 2 E3s ago when they did that release trailer with the trains and shit?
Yeah.
In the Xbox part of the conference. And it was like, at the time, it was like, everybody's like, oh my god, they got exclusivity for the Xbox. They're like, no, it's a multi-platform. And everybody's like, oh, okay. Because those are really good PC games. They are great PC games. But you know where I've played those PC games? On Steam. You know where it's not going to be on the release day, it's not going to be on Steam. It's going to be on the Epic Games Store. That spunky storefront that everybody wants to have their games on.
That young upstart with the billions of dollars behind it.
That young upstart with the billions of dollars, yes. And so the apparently A4 or 4A, the game company behind Metro Exodus, stated that moving the Metro Exodus from Steam to the Epic Games Store was made exclusively by Deep Silver and not them. So they wanted to make a point of that. The reason they wanted to make a point of that is because a A4 Games staff member on a looks like a Russian game forum said, and this is a quote, I think it's a translated quote, so the English comes off a little weird. If all PC players announce a boycott of Metro, then the next Metro, if it does happen, is definitely not on the PC.
So yeah, I saw that going around, and I'm just like, that can't be right. That, but
no,
it's the
4A has come out and said, basically that it does not reflect Deep Silver or 4A's games view of the future of the franchise. They do reflect, this is actually the direct quote, they do reflect the hurt and disappointment of a passionate individual who has seen what was previously nothing but positive goodwill towards his work turn to controversy due to business decision he had no control over.
This is a drama waiting to happen, fuck.
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting. But yeah, like I'm not going to review bomb previous Metro titles, which is what's happening on Steam right now.
Isn't Metro Exodus also... When are they delisting the pre-orders from Steam?
It was delisted already. It was delisted the day that it was announced.
Okay, because I remember listening to a podcast about a week or two ago, and they were just like, top seller on Steam, Metro Exodus. And I'm like...
Yeah, you cannot order it on Steam right now. If you did pre-order it, you are getting your copy, which is weird. Like, I think that's kind of interesting that you're getting your copy, even if it's not technically releasing on that platform. I just think that's interesting.
That might be a contractual thing at that point. Just like...
yeah, I think, well, pretty much. I mean, you've already paid the money in, and I guess, like, the stuff has already been essentially put out there, so I guess you kind of have to...
Yeah.
You kind of have to go through with that. But, this is tough, right? Like, you really... I want to believe that... I wanted to believe that this was just going to be one of those things where it's like...
Isn't it only exclusive for a year?
It is exclusive for exactly a year and a day.
Okay.
And it sucks because as I said, I was really excited to play this. I'm on principle just not buying anything on the Epic Game Store, and it's not against Epic per se, as I don't have anything necessarily against Epic. I just don't feel the need or want to have more gaming platforms, to have my games on more gaming platforms. I already have Uplay, Origin, Steam, and the Xbox Live Store installed on my computer. I don't need a fifth one or a sixth.
Blizzard launcher?
Oh, I have GOG, I have Blizzard. Yeah, sorry. So I don't need a seventh one or an eighth.
Yeah, see, I already
have them all over the fucking place.
I never went that crazy. I have Steam and Blizzard, which I only have Overwatch on. Like I only...
No, and I understand that, but it's the only way to play Blizzard games is through Blizzard.
Yeah.
I think the reason I have the Uplay one is because the only way to have pre-ordered the Division, I think, was through Uplay. There was some weird thing that happened, and that's why I have the Division through Uplay instead of on Steam. And Origin is Origin. Like, EA has a bunch of its stuff on Origin, and I hate that, but I like some of what EA puts out there. But it's because it's EA putting it out there. If it's a third-party company, I want to buy it on a platform that I have other third-party company games on already, like, which is Steam.
See, most of this stuff you're complaining about is why I primarily play this stuff on console.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
So I just don't... Like, I completely avoid Uplay. I literally only downloaded it to play the beta, which I got, like, Dispenser was pushing me to play with her, and I'm just like, fine.
Sure. No, I understand that. I don't like shooters on consoles, personally.
That's fair.
It's just not how I like to play that sort of game. There are a bunch of games I'll play on consoles. Driving games, third-person action RPGs, pretty much almost most games other than strategy games and first-person shooters, I'll play on any platform. But when it comes to first-person shooters, for me, it just I've played them on consoles when needed, but it just doesn't feel right to me, and I like my mouse and keyboard for that.
That's completely fair. I think the last shooter I played on console was Titanfall 2, and honestly, most of the time I just go wherever something is cheaper.
Sure.
I have downloaded the Epic Game Store because free games. They made a great case for themselves just giving out next week is fucking Axiom Verge. I fucking love it.
Verge.
Or wait, no, that's right now. Right.
No, that's right now, which actually we could segue into because you're so nice to give me that.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, speaking of Axiom Verge, earlier this week on the Epic Store, it did not work. It just crashed 100% when you entered an area. And the reason was because there was a file missing. Steam.xnb was the file name that was missing because it was an audio clip related to a Steam event, and because that was missing, the game just outright crashed.
That's video
when
games.
To that point. I think that's pretty funny. The developer Tom Happ actually went on to Twitter and said, I was thinking it being Epic and all, I shouldn't include Valve's DLL and such, so I excluded all files with Steam in the name. Oops. So that's pretty funny.
That's pretty funny.
I gotta give credit. I know the developer. I think he's a one-man team, right, Mr. Happ?
Yeah. He was working on that game forever.
You gotta give credit. You gotta give credit on that. I think that's pretty funny. Somebody even made a joke. The first reply on Twitter was making a mental note to start naming any Steam-related in-game files as hot mist in the future. That's pretty good.
It's pretty funny. He already fixed it, right? I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, he fixed it. He fixed it pretty much. I believe he fixed it relatively quickly. Relatively quickly after the game came out. Or after the game came out on the Epic Store, and you can easily fix it by just verifying and updating the game.
Yeah, you should play. Y'all should play Axiom Verge. It's a good ass Metroid.
Oh yeah, I've heard it's great. Do I have it on Steam?
It's not a Metroidvania. It's a Metroid ass Metroid.
I just don't want. As I said,
the music's pretty good.
I'm not going to download another launcher, even if there's a free game attached to it. That's like drugs. Like, it's literally the first rule of the drug is like they give you the first taste.
I have not tried the drug called Fortnite because I've been surrounded by it thanks to having a child.
I was gonna say because your son has gotten the drug of Fortnite.
You know what? He actually hasn't played Fortnite. No, he hasn't touched it in like 2 weeks. He's been all about Geometry Dash. It's
starting to fall off, man. It's happening.
I guess. I don't know.
When it falls off, it's going to be hard, and I think a lot of people are going to be very surprised when it happens because this happens sometimes with games.
They just had some big virtual concert with
Marshmello.
I don't think I've heard a Marshmello song, and I'm pretty up on my EDM. I don't know.
You have then. If you're up with EDM, you've heard him. I've heard him.
Okay.
He gets posted on UKF and all those YouTube EDM channels all the time.
Okay.
Or whenever he comes out with new games. You've heard his music, I guarantee it.
Probably.
But speaking of a company that isn't EA, or that is EA and that isn't Epic, I don't know where I was going with that segue.
Let's just keep going.
Let's try that again. Speaking of EA, for no reason whatsoever,
Take two.
Stock fell 13% on Wednesday. It's currently up 16.05%. So it dive bombed below $90, and now it's back up to $90. So this news story is not very relevant anymore. But the reason there was such a drop, their conference call on Tuesday, EA Chief Executive Andrew Wilson said that the company faced significant challenges in the fiscal third quarter that would continue through the fourth quarter, mostly due to Battlefield 5, which was delayed until November, which has not sold as well as its predecessor. Part of
There's
the
like
reason,
a general decay, like
Yeah.
setting into like AAA, and this is just another
Yes.
another symptom. Like all the AAAs are just, it's the same thing over and over.
Yeah. Basically, he says that they were against the backdrop of a very competitive quarter. The combination of these factors led to our underperformance. Of course, this is referring to the fact that Red Dead Redemption 2, a Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey all came out basically within about a month of the game was original release date. So they got super shreked. As I said, they lost a lot of value, but now they actually caught their value back up. I mean, they're not back to their September numbers, which back in September they were at $130 a share compared to $97 right now. So they're definitely down from where they were, but they got picked up a little bit. So I'm not surprised.
I mean, if you look farther down the document, a big part of the reason why it picked up was the release of Apex Legends. They're currently riding that interest like really high, so it's at least been able to like stabilize them. But
it erased their entire losses from their earning report. So that's kind of hysterical.
Yeah.
It's kind of hysterical that happens.
They released Apex. Anthem comes out like really fucking soon, right?
Yeah, that too.
Why the fuck would they put out a free-play shooter right before that?
It's a good question.
Well,
I don't know.
Respawn is it's not autonomous, but it's like partially doing its own thing. It has some recognizance over what it does, and also Anthem hasn't exactly been, like the buzz hasn't been that positive. There are people who are still defending it and still going, it's going to be great, it's going to be fine, but a lot of people are like very disillusioned with it and drawing allusions to Andromeda.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it turns out. That definitely is a very valid point though, Cali. But there is an argument to be made that full on $60 AAA titles sell to different audiences than free to play games do. So much to the point where a lot of people who play free to play games may not have bought the full price AAA title to begin with, even if it was the better game.
Well, wasn't that one of when Epic was having that the pissing match with Steam, where like one of the big facts they put out was like at least 65% of our entire like Epic launcher audience hasn't even owned Steam or like at any or bought a game on Steam at any given time.
I don't know.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I heard that.
It's a lot
statistic.
of little kids, a lot of people just playing on mobile, just interacting directly with like the V-Buck shop. It's a big chunk, at least half of their audience is like a whole different segment. Like doesn't engage with traditional.
I was out eating earlier and there was two brothers there with Switches both playing Fortnite.
On their Switch?
Yes.
Interesting. No, it's interesting. I don't know. I still feel that we're gonna like wake one morning and Epic's just gonna collapse under the weight of its own fucking hubris, but we'll see.
Then's the time to bring Unreal Tournament back.
No, at that point the company would be too dead for them to even try. Actually, the company will just be.
HQ Nordic could buy part of it.
They'll just no. It's Tencent. Remember, Tencent owns part of them.
Oh yeah.
So they'll just turn into Tencent Epic or it's Epic Tencent or something like that.
The most epic Tencent.
Tencent fucking digs their corpse out of the grave. Anyways, we got some quick hits, so let's hit them. We talked about the Axiom Verge ones, so let's talk about Sony. Sony Plus, PlayStation Plus. Everybody knows PlayStation Plus. First off, everybody's going to have 100 gigabytes of cloud storage rolling out now. You have it already if you have PSN Plus, so that's cool.
Gasp.
It's a lot of fucking storage. Also of note, the PlayStation Plus games this month, For Honor, Hitman, whatever. That's sort of the big one to know, or that's not the biggest stuff to note. The big stuff to note is that PS4, PS3, and Vita games are available to March 8th instead of March 5th, and that is because they are being taken off the service. This is the end of the line for free PS Vita and PS3 games on PS Plus. I just said PS 3 times. The last game that is on for PS3, for PS3, the big one, Metal Gear Solid 4.
Is that available anywhere else? Did they port it to PS4?
Nope.
Good.
Only available on PS3. I wish it was
stay there
available on
forever.
PS4. I wish it was available on PS4. I would love to play through it again.
We'll get an HD collection one of these days.
Oh yeah, I hope so. I hope they upscale the fuck out of. Well, not upscale the hell out of all those, but I hope they bring all those to PS4 because I don't understand why they haven't done that already.
Because Konami's, if there's one thing they're good at, it's re-releasing old games.
It's dumb as fuck. And that I still play. I play the pixel numbers game they have because they have a Picross game on the phone and it's great. That's Konami.
Oh yeah.
I downloaded that but never played it. Look,
great.
This is all pursuant on them deciding that putting the effort to make a new collection is worth more in regards to their time than just opening up another health club.
And then just opening up another patch slot machine.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we could do this, or we could just do this easy thing and make money there and not worry about it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Speaking of making easy money,
yes.
PC classics Baldur's Gate, Planescape Torment, and Neverwinter Nights are getting their remakes put on the consoles. Officially confirmed for all three of the consoles right now. But Switch is the big one that a lot of people are excited about, including myself. I would love to play Baldur's Gate 2 on the go on my Switch. I picked specifically Baldur's Gate 2 because that's my favorite. But all those great D&D 2.5 to 3.5 games coming soon to a console near you later this year. I'm excited. I love those games. The remakes are really well done.
Good games. Yeah.
Speaking of the Switch, February's games for NES Switch Online is Super Mario Bros. 2 and Kirby's Adventure. One thing I am very interested to see is there's rumors of a Nintendo Minute this week. Supposedly, it was supposed to be last week, but might have gotten canceled before they announced it. But possibly this week. Everybody hanging on the edge of their seat to see if they actually announce SNES games. I have a feeling they're going to let the NES library sort of form a little more before then, but we'll see. But yeah, Super Mario 2 and Kirby's Adventure, which rounds out all the Super Mario games on there, and obviously the best NES game. Kirby, not Super Mario 2. Moving on. As I said earlier, Crackdown 3, which comes out this week, will be on Xbox Game Pass on February 15th, which is pretty sweet. I can't wait, because that means I'm going to play it on the release day, probably.
Oh, they just put
Xbox One X enhanced.
They just put Shadow of the Tomb Raider on Game Pass, so
yep,
I'm going to sign up for
that. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, along with the first season of The Walking Dead, and a game called Pumped BMX Pro. And De Blob comes out on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And then actually, not even done, on February 21st, Batman Returned to Arkham. What?
That's the re-release. It's the double pack of City and
Arkham City and Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
That's the Xbox One X enhanced versions of those games. That comes out next week on the 21st. So that's pretty loaded. I have Xbox Game Pass. It's pretty great.
Yeah, I need to sign up for that.
Pretty happy about that. I need to get back to playing some games on it, but it is pretty great. And then I think this is the I have two more news stories. That's right. Tetris Effect had its demo on.
It's still going
PSN.
until tomorrow.
It's still going until tomorrow. I haven't personally played it, but I've heard amazing fucking things. It's also on sale for 25% off. So that's pretty fucking awesome.
It was Giant Bomb's game of the year for last year.
Yeah, no.
Was it?
Yes.
It was. Yeah, it was the game of the year. Well, because Jeff Gerstmann is a butt who doesn't like Red Dead Redemption 2, so
Yeah,
I've
heard great things about that.
I have no patience to listen to their entire fucking 5 days of Game of the Year.
They got
shit.
Okay. Last year was pretty bad, but this year was pretty. There was a lot more mad than usual. Let me just put it that way.
I just don't have the patience. Like I'm not disappointed by me paying my subscription to them last year, but I definitely kind of fell off of sort of paying attention to some of their stuff. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's December, January is so slow and shit. Moving on. Couple of interesting trademark things from Square. Secret of Mana and Final Fantasy Adventure had their trademarks updated. Not too surprised to see, as they did have that Secret of Mana remake came out 2 years ago or last year. I don't remember. But either way, it did come out somewhat relatively recently. And Final Fantasy Adventure is, of course, what everybody refers to as the second descent. I'm gonna botch the fuck out of that name. It's that series that people like that I can't pronounce. I'm not going to. Seiken Densetsu. Yeah, I fucked up the pronunciation and embarrassed myself and said it perfectly. But yeah, so that actually came out on a Japanese only Switch a collection that contained 1 through 3. Which is dumb that didn't come out stateside. Maybe it will now that they filed their trademarks to do so. Hopefully. I mean, those are pretty decent. They're pretty okay games. I won't say they're decent games. They're pretty okay. I think that's pretty fair. Apparently the trailer for the new Aladdin movie just dropped, and it looks terrible. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
And finally, something from the "this isn't going to pass, so I don't know why you're trying" category of news stories, as I think this comes up every year, as the person kind of posted this last year. Lawmakers from Pennsylvania have put forth House Bill 109, which seeks to impose a sin tax on video games sold at retail that are rated by the ISRB as M for mature or adults only.
That's a thing that won't happen.
That's a thing. Yeah, as I said, thanks, Cali. That's what I started off with. I said, coming from the category of things that totally won't actually happen. It did not make it out of committee during the 2018 legislative session. This new version will also most likely not make it out of committee. I understand the thought process. I get it, right? Like, you want to do something like that, but the fact of the matter is that the First Amendment's going to kill this every day. You can't do something based on that. Like, it just doesn't work. And it shouldn't really work either, mostly because we've had multiple studies showing that the bullshit that they want to sort of push on this that doesn't actually do that.
Yeah, but how far have facts gotten us this far?
According to the article, it breaks down to a basic $60 game will end up costing like $70 or so in Pennsylvania. So it's an extra $10 on top of everything.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I bid you good luck trying to pass it, but at the end of the day, this is really dumb, and I don't know actually why we even posted this. Shouldn't even give it media attention unless it gets like out of committee. But anyways, that is all the news that's fit to print, as they say.
Except for the last one.
We talked about the last one. The last one was the EA stock bouncing back because of Apex Legends, which we talked about.
No, I meant the one you just talked about. That's fine.
Oh, that news isn't fit to print. We should just delete that part from the podcast.
I will. Watch me.
Fantastic. All right. Well, on that note, I want to thank everybody for listening and everybody for helping me out today. and that includes you, Cali, and you, DrChibi.
Yeah.
You sound so enthralled.
I actually I'm just Ein just told me there's a Crystallis randomizer, and like my mind is awash with possibility, and also that that SNK collection, the 40th anniversary one's just really good.
Oh
I keep
yeah,
thinking about that and Sega Ages and how they're only Switch. Like,
yeah. Well, that's because that's yeah. Well, you do have to buy them individually, so that's how that goes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Deadpool's done with homework. Great, Deadpool. Well, guys, thank you for watching us this evening, and we'll see you all next time we have the podcast. Who knows when that will be? Maybe next week, maybe not. We'll see.
We'll see.
See, remember, wrestling sucks, and it never lets us do anything. Bye, guys.
Listen, the women's rumble was cool. Okay,
I haven't seen it.
except for the part
I need
with
to-
Hornswoggle.
Well, Horns. Oh my God, you're joking.
No,
Oh,
absolutely not.
It's been
Nope.
fucking 10 years since
Right?
he was actually relevant.
Right?
And even then, he wasn't really actually relevant.
Right?
Oh my God. I was in Vegas and I was like, man, I should hunt down and see if I could find somebody, doing it,
Yeah.
And no, I didn't find it. I was too, didn't happen.